an intro video, but that's not happened yet. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, everyone. We are on and we are triple streaming as always. We're streaming on YouTube. Yes, we are, good sirs. We are streaming on we're streaming on YouTube, we're streaming on X, and we are streaming on TikTok. So, ladies and gentlemen, the crux of this video is NATO ship. There's been World War III fears. There's a drone attack. There's been a drone attack on a NATO ship just off the coast of Ukraine. I'm going to get onto that later. I'm going to read with you guys the articles. We're going to see what that's all about. Also, there's been absolute media blackout on this, guys. Absolute media blackout. There have been 3 instances within the last 24 hours where there's been either bomb squads, explosions, army bomb disposal teams called in. Right now, I believe there is you know how we shared that video earlier, and the video was on this morning's live stream. We shared that video where the police got a circular email and they were told not to investigate certain crimes, i.e. the grooming gangs. Well, I'm going to speculate that the police have been told and the media have been told of, hang on, let me get the chat on. Sorry, guys, I've not put the chat on. And the media have been told not to headline these things. But ladies and gentlemen, okay, if you get one explodey device, that should be high news, right? If you get 2, excuse me, I usually do 3. I think it's 2 today. No. Oh, shit. It's always 3, guys. It's always 3. Only on very rare occasions I double tap with the sneezes. I usually 2 to the chest, 1 to the head. Anyway, so there's been 3 instances in the United Kingdom within the last 24 hours where there's either been an explosion, bomb disposal teams have been called out, or people have been arrested because of explosive devices and the terror, and they've been arrested under the Terrorism Act. Before we get on to that, ladies and gentlemen, I, as the Raven, the real Raven 1, and if you've not done so already, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit these things down below, guys. Hit those buttons down below. Hit those buttons, a like, follow, subscribe button, all those things that help this channel grow. Look, guys, before we get into what I'm going to get into before we get into the main thing, it's absolutely freezing. My gas bottle for my heating it's gone. My gas bottle's gone. It went earlier on today. I've not had a chance to get down to the store to replace it. So if I turn into an icicle, somebody please call 911. I don't think I'm going to call into an icicle. I've been in cold temperatures before. Right. Before we get into the crux of this live stream, guys, I want to show you guys how corrupt the British government is. Do you know what? Let me rephrase that. I want to show you guys some of the very interesting people we have as serving members of parliament and their family ties. Just want to go with that, guys. I just want to go with that. Let me just have a little see what I can see. For you guys over on TikTok, I do apologize. I can't share the screen with you guys on TikTok, but if you're watching on YouTube, I'm sharing this on YouTube, and I will be sharing these screens on YouTube. So before we get into the crux of this video, guys, which is World War III fears, drone attack on NATO ships. Just off the coast of Ukraine, and the multiple explosion alerts in the United Kingdom. I think I need to change that because it is a little bit misleading. Listen, guys, if you feel the headline is a little bit misleading, I am going to change that once I stop live streaming. It should be multiple explosion alerts UK. So I do apologize on that one. But let me get onto this, guys, because this is absolutely wild. So if everybody, and for you guys on TikTok, I'm going to try and explain as much as I can what I'm sharing with the guys on YouTube. So let me just start sharing, guys. So I want to share this article with you guys. This is an article from, I think, the ITV. Is it ITV? Yeah, ITV.com. Bangladesh has ousted Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, I may be pronouncing that wrong, sentenced to death for crimes against humanity. Look at her picture there. Look at her little picture. Look at her little eyes. Yes, I am sentenced to. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. You know, when I do like Irish accents and Russian accents, it never seems racist, does it? But when I do like other accents, listen, guys, you guys need to come for a beer with me. You do. You guys need to come for a beer with me when when the filter's off. You think the filter's off now? Trust me, guys. If you guys come for a beer with me and get like prime drunk Raven, all shit goes down. So this is the lady. Bangladesh has ousted Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has been sentenced to death after being found guilty of crimes against humanity. Well, she sounds like a good lady, right? Am I right, guys? If you get sentenced to death for crimes against humanity, I mean, she seems like a questionable lady, right? And you would say, well, you know what? I don't want to deal with her. She's been found guilty of crimes against humanity. Like, as a show of hands, you know, if you went for a job interview and you had on your CV convicted crimes against humanity, where do you think you'd go with that? Unless you're going for a job in the Labour Party, you know, it would be detrimental. I'm only joking, ladies and gentlemen, but I will come back onto that later. So her sentence follows the violent suppression of student protests, which ultimately toppled her government and forced her to flee to India last August, ending her 15-year reign. Prosecutors sought the death penalty after the court heard that about 1,400 protesters were killed and up to 25,000 were injured during weeks of unrest in 2024. Okay. All right. So, lady in Bangladesh, what has she got to do with the United Kingdom? What's she got to do with the United Kingdom? I hear you asking. Well, it turns out, and this is an article from Politico, family ties to the ousted Bangladeshi Prime Minister heap further pressure on UK City Minister. The heat is being turned up on Tulip Siddiq, whose auntie is the ousted Bangladeshi Prime Minister. I'm not going to try and pronounce the name, guys. I'm doing it wrong. After she failed to register rental income from a property in London. So as we understand it, and I did look into this, and this is for entertainment purposes, fact check everything I'm saying, guys. I'm just a guy on the internet. Sometimes I get things wrong, but I never mean to mislead. So as I understand it, this was a property that she was gifted, and either she was living in the one that she was gifted and didn't declare the other one, or vice versa. I can't remember it, but she was gifted this by someone. And she's been renting it out, and she's not been declaring the income. There's a theme here, isn't there, guys? There's a common theme with politicians, especially in the Labour Party. I mean, people think that the Conservative Party are rotten to the core and corrupt. Well, let's just continue with this, guys, okay? So this lady, you know, this nice old lady, look at her there in a little Bangladeshi dress. She looks lovely, doesn't she? She's like, you know, she's going to come and bring you tea. Apparently, you know what? Not even apparently. That lady there has been done for crimes against humanity. And she is the aunt of a lady called Tulip Siddiq. London City Minister Tulip Siddiq can't be enjoying herself. The Labour Member of Parliament, who is already under investigation. So she's already under investigation, and then her auntie gets done for crimes against humanity. How's that family? How's that Christmas dinner going, Tulip? The Labour MP who is already under investigation for failing to register rental income. Yeah, we've spoke about that. So listen, guys, I know what you guys are thinking. You're thinking, right, so who is Tulip? Who is Tulip Sadiq? So Tulip Sadiq. So listen, for you guys on TikTok, I'm jumping through and I'm sharing a lot of screens. So this is a Wikipedia page, okay? So Tulip Sadiq, Tulip Rizwana Sadiq is a British Bangladeshi. She's a British Bangladeshi. Here it is, guys, okay? Tulip Sadiq was born on the 16th of September, 1982 in Sutton, London. Right, okay. Guys, minorities, make your fucking minds up, okay? Make your minds up, right? On one hand, I was born in this country, I'm British. All right, okay, right, we'll go with that. I was born in this country, I'm British Bangladeshi. What the fuck? Make your minds up. You know, like as far as I'm concerned, if you're in this country and you want to be a British Bangladeshi like this lady does, you shouldn't be able to run for parliament. You shouldn't be able to run for office. You shouldn't have any authority above me with my one British passport. No, sir. No, sir, you should not. But this is the lady here, guys, okay? Tulip Rizwana Sadiqi, born 16th of September 1982, is a British Bangladeshi politician who has been a member of parliament for Hempstead and Highgate, previously Hempstead and Kilburn since 2015. She served as the Economic Secretary to the Treasury and City Minister from the 9th of July 2024. I don't know about you. I don't want her going anywhere near my tax money. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie, guys. I'm just going to throw it out there. I don't want little, I don't know if she's little. I'm assuming she's little. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she's 5'9", 5'10". I don't know. I'm assuming she's not. But if I'm wrong and if she's a big un, then I do apologize. But she's claiming to be a British Bangladeshi. What does that mean? You can't claim that you're just as British as everybody else because you was born in Britain and then claim you're a British Bangladeshi. I'm just as British as you, but I'm also Bangladeshi. What does that mean? What does that mean? Can anybody put it in the chat what that means? What does it mean if you're a British Bangladeshi? If you were born in Britain, right, and on Wednesday you want to say, no, I'm just as British as everybody else. All right, fine. All right, that's fine. All right, whatever. Yeah, whatever. All right, I get that. All right. But you're identifying as a British Bangladeshi. Makes no sense to Raven, guys. There is no Raven logic in this bullshit. Sorry, let me continue. Right, let's go down and have a look. Let's go down and have a look at her. So we already know she's getting done for not declaring income or whatever. Whatever, they all do it. Hang on, I want to find her family. Wikipedia is fantastic, guys. Wikipedia is fantastic. Right, here we are. So parents, okay? So her parents, Shafiq Ahmed Sadiq is her father, because obviously that's a male name, and Shihik Rehana, mother. Okay, so who are these fine people? Well, let's have a look at their Wikipedia pages. So Shafiq Ahmed. So this is a dad. He's an academic professor. Blah blah blah. Where is it? Somewhere down. Right, somewhere down here it says it. I know it. There we go. Personal life. So he married Shahik Rehana in 1977 in London, and she is the sister of the Prime Minister of the ousted Prime Minister, Shihiki. There she is. Look at her, the little old lady. She, little old lady there. Oh, look at her. She's getting done for crimes against humanity. So, look, ladies and gentlemen, okay, you can say that it's not, you can say that something that happens to Tulip has got no consequence. Sorry, you can say that something that happens to Shahiki Hasina has got no consequence to what happens to good old Tulip in the United Kingdom, you could also argue the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. What I'm getting at here is you guys can see the type of people, like the type of people we have in our political system, right? Like, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong, guys. Tell me I'm wrong. Guys, put it in the chat. Do we think we should have British Bangladeshis running in office whose aunties are wanted for war crimes? Sorry, not war crimes. It's even worse. Crimes against humanity. I would speculate that most people with active brain cells would say, no, do you know what, Sean? Actually, I don't want people with links to family links to people who have been convicted of crimes against humanity. Can you imagine if we had a load of politicians called like Hans Hitler? Yeah, my name is Hans. Yeah, my uncle was Adolf from Germany. Would you think, yeah, Hans, mate, just a quick one, Hans. With your political career moving forwards, you might want to change. I don't know, mate. I don't think our donor base could I don't think our donor base could spread to you, Hans. I don't think. Why not? I am my own person, and my uncle was it was my uncle who was Adolf. It wouldn't wash, would it? It wouldn't wash. Actually, let me have a look. Do you know what? Did he actually get convicted of anything? Okay. Right. Okay. Look, I know this is a skewed statistic. All right. I know this is a skewed statistic. Right. I totally know this. Right. But can you imagine? I'm doing Raven statistics here, guys. They're not always right, but they always work. All right. Okay. So the Austrian painter. The Austrian painter who you guys know what I'm talking about, right? The Austrian painter. So because he transcended himself to a beam of light before he was captured, he was never actually convicted of anything. However, he was convicted of treason for his role in the failed beer hall putsch in 1923. He was sentenced to 5 years in prison, but was released after serving just 9 months. The trial gave him a public platform to spread his ideas and become a turning point in his political career. So I would say the Austrian painter has been convicted of less than this woman, what's her name? Shahiki Hassana in Bangladesh. Guys, she's been convicted of crimes against humanity. And her niece is a member of parliament in the United Kingdom. So you guys can imagine now when the civil war breaks out, how do you think her niece is going to react? I don't know. Do you think she's going to go, yes, the apple does not fall far from the tree? Ho, 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 ho. Right, sorry guys, I'm going on a side quest here. I'll jump onto that. I'll jump onto the main news right now, guys. I'm going to jump onto the main news. So, World War III. I'm reading this off. What's this? I'm reading this from the Express, and this was an article posted today, 17th of November, 2025, okay? So I'm just going to read this, and then we are going to try and break this down and see what this actually means. In fact, let me find that. Do you know what? Let me get on the... Hang on, give me a second. I'm going to try and find this. This port will definitely be on the war map. Interesting. Where's that port? Izmir. Right, I can't find it. I'm not gonna waste time trying to find that. Well, I just said I'm not going to waste time trying to find that, and then here I am wasting time trying to find that. Right, let's leave that out. Let's leave that out of the question. So I'm reading this now, ladies and gentlemen, from an article from the Express. World War III fears erupt as drone attacks NATO ship explodes in the flames. And this is pretty much the scenario I gave you guys. World War III could start by accident, absolute accident. I'll come on to that scenario after I've read this paragraph, but I have said many times that World War III will start by accident, and I'll give you the scenarios I've given previously, and then we'll look back at this and we'll think, right, how realistic is this? A Turkish-flagged tanker has been hit in a reported drone strike near the port of Izmail in Ukraine. Let me just Google that. In Ukraine, causing a fire to break out. A Turkish-flagged tanker, or Orinda, was struck in a reported drone attack near the port. We just said that. The vessel, which was carrying liquefied petroleum gas, was hit during evacuation operations. So they were already evacuating. That makes no sense. Sparking a fire. An unidentified missile or rocket slammed into the ship while 16 crew members were evacuated. Okay, so there's more to this. So, okay, so why were they evacuated in the first place? Fortunately, they managed to escape safely before the fire ignited, and officials confirmed there were no injuries, thank goodness. Ukrainian firefighters quickly responded to the scene, with Turkish authorities also keeping a close eye on the situation. A comprehensive assessment of the damage is anticipated once the fire is under control. This isn't the first time a Turkish flag vessel has been targeted in the Black Sea. Since the onset of the Russia-Ukraine conflict, reports the Express. In 2024, Russia was suspected of launching a missile strike on a Turkish-operated cargo ship transporting Ukrainian grain to Egypt. The incident took place approximately 30 miles off Romania's coastline, outside national waters, but within the country's exclusive maritime economic zone. While there were no casualties, the ship suffered substantial damage. So what I want to talk about now, guys, is a few things I've mentioned before. First of all, World War III will start by accident. I'm sure of it now. I'm 100% sure of it 50% of the time. World War III will start by accident. So also asymmetric naval warfare. Nobody's even considered. A couple of days ago, I was on like yesterday, maybe last night or the night before. I can't remember. Maybe yesterday, like lunchtime or the day before. I was doing some paid work. You know, when people pay me, you know. Make sure you watch my ads, guys. I bet all you guys, when the ads come up, you're like that with your finger over the button, aren't you? Skip. I bet you just give it the 5 seconds. Don't worry, guys. I do the same. I was doing some paid work, and one of the questions was, Sean, where do you see this conflict going? And you guys are getting this analysis for free. One of the questions was, Sean, where do you see the conflict going, and what are the gaps? So it was kind of like a gap analysis question. So, and the response was, okay, mate. Can't remember his name. What was his name? I can't remember his name. I wouldn't say it anyway. So I said, okay, mate. So what people are not considering at the moment is the land war, which the land war is going to be fought by conscripts. And I broke it down for him. I broke it down how conscripts and literally what I do for you guys, I gave him Raven Maths. And he was like, wow, we didn't even consider that. One of the other things I said to him was, these guys, they weren't really interested in the maritime aspect, but I also said it to him just because he was paying me. I gave him the maritime asymmetric warfare. You know, this guy was he was American. He was I think he was ex-US Marine. And I said, okay, mate, so you've been US military, and I'm going to assume you was, and at the time he was telling me, I said, I'm going to assume you was in Fallujah at that time because that's where the US Marines were. And one of the things I said to him was, I mean, look, guys, if you want to see a badass battle, and I don't know why there's not been a movie made out about it, the Battle of Fallujah was absolutely badass. Fallujah, there's not one road. The main road that runs through Fallujah, it's like on a mound, and it runs through the does it run through the west? I think it runs through, I'm pretty sure it runs through the center of Fallujah, and that thing was just absolutely wild. We used to have to go through Fallujah quite often because it's on the way to Ramadi. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're not talking about Iraq. Iraq's old, Iraq's done, Iraq's finished, so we ain't going back there. We are talking about Ukraine. We are talking about asymmetric naval warfare. But this guy had been to Fallujah, and he knew exactly what I was talking about. And I said, okay, one of the problems you come into contact with when you're fighting an asymmetric force is, 1 minute these guys are putting rounds down on you. They're putting, they're thick and fast. They're fast and loose. They're fast and loose with their trigger fingers, and they're throwing those things down at you. They run around the corner, they throw things on the floor, and they're just a normal civilian. Very difficult to deal with. Very difficult to deal with, guys, if you're a Western military and you're going through your rules of engagement. Right, ladies and gentlemen, you guys on TikTok, I'm just conscious about you guys. Raw Herder joined, Jojo's joined, T.I. Hero, Dan Chapman, and Buster have joined. Listen, guys, you guys on TikTok, I'm just conscious that I'm going to have to close you guys down I'm going to close you guys down on TikTok in a couple of minutes. And then I will just be streaming exclusively on YouTube, exclusively on X. We are talking about World War III fears. We're talking about asymmetric naval warfare. We're going to be talking about the 3 incidents that have happened in the United Kingdom in the last 24 hours involving kaboomers. Yeah, kaboomers, guys, 3 of them. And there's been an absolute media blackout. But if you don't believe me, don't worry. I'm going to show. There's been, it's not a media blackout. It's like it's a headline blackout, because these things should be headlining. They do make the news, but nobody shares them. They're like way down in the news, and you have to know exactly what you're looking for. So, ladies and gentlemen, you find people on TikTok. If you're going to jump over to YouTube, I'm the Real Raven 1 on YouTube. I'm the Real Raven 1 on X. If you're not going to jump over to YouTube, don't worry. All these videos get uploaded, and I will see you guys tomorrow at 10 in the morning. I'm going to let you guys hang out like there a little bit for a couple of minutes, and then I will jump over. So if you're fighting this asymmetric war, a ground war basically, and bad guys throw their long pointy things, their long metal things down, and they run off, very difficult to deal with them. The same principles apply to naval warfare. Absolutely 1,000,000%. So this is one of the things I was saying to this guy. I said, okay, asymmetric naval warfare. I said to him, imagine this, mate. USS, I don't know. He was American, and he's a Marine, so I gave him a naval, I gave him the Henry Ford, what is it? The big aircraft carriers. I said, mate, imagine one of your aircraft carriers takes a drone strike, from, you don't know where these drone strikes have come from, and a drone strike hits a US naval ship and sinks it. Aircraft carrier, done. You've got the aircraft carrier, you've got the crew, you've got maybe even have Marines on there, it's got aircraft on there, it's got munitions, it's got radar. And you believe that attack came from an oil tanker. You're like, oh, this came from an oil tanker. The oil tanker, it's big, it's heavy, it's stationary. Do you think you can launch drones from an oil tanker? Abso-fucking-lutely, you can launch drones from an oil tanker. Now, the options you have, the naval options you have in response is, okay, I'm going to sink that oil tanker. Yeah, good luck with that, big man. First of all your evidence goes to the bottom of the water. It's going to take you forever to get that back, especially if it's in another country's territorial waters. Not a chance. Second of all, you've got an environmental disaster and you have caused that environmental disaster. So when I talk about asymmetric warfare, World War III starting by accident, it's this type of incident, guys. It really is. Right, ladies and gentlemen, you guys on TikTok, I am going to close you down. I am. You guys, there's some good-looking guys, Ryan and Daniel, and guys, you guys. There's some good-looking guys joining, but there's also some good-looking guys on YouTube as well. Right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to close you guys down now on TikTok, and I will be streaming exclusively on YouTube and X. If you're going to jump over, I'm the Real Raven 1 on YouTube, and I am the Real Raven 1 on X. But if you're not, don't worry. All these videos are uploaded. You can watch them at your leisure, and I will be back on tomorrow morning at 10. Yes, I will, good sir. And if not, whatever, I bid you good night. No, I didn't press it. It's really difficult to press these buttons. There we are. There we are. We're off. We are off. We are off. Yes, we are, good sir. Right. There we are. Right. I totally neglected the chat, haven't I? Right. I'm going to jump onto the chat now before we get on to how World War III will start by accident. I'm going to jump onto the chat, guys. Okay. So good evening, everyone on the chat. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Can't find my cursor. There we are. Sean, jump right up the chat, please. I'll jump right. Donna, I will jump wherever you want me to jump, Donna. Right, I'm jumping right up the chat. Who's chatting? Sherry, the movement today has been more unusual, but I'm not a professional. I wouldn't want to scaremonger, so I'm going to say I'm unsure. Donna, what's the last minute things you're getting? I'm just running through my stuff at the moment. Slim, oh, thanks, mate. I've just finished the roast dinner. What roast dinner was it, Trevor? Trevor, what roast dinner was it? Because I'm not going to lie, I am absolutely freezing. My gas bottle's gone. My gas bottle's totally gone. I need to change it at the store tomorrow. So I'm absolutely freezing, and I may turn into an icicle today. Gerald Ford, yes, it was the Gerald Ford. It was the Gerald Ford. Sorry, guys, I'm totally out of there. Yes, that's what we say too. Grateful for it too, but these days we don't. Supporting the body. I don't know what I'm jumping up to, guys. Sean, get the comments. Right, I'm getting the comments. Chief of General's Staff of the Polish Armed Forces just stated that his country is effectively in a pre-war state. Guys, look, I've been saying this for over a year. It's inevitable. Now, it is absolutely, inevitable what is coming. It's like, it's what is coming to the West. I don't think people understand where we're going. I really don't think people understand where we're going and what's coming. We're seeing all these countries coming out. We're seeing all these countries, different countries coming out and saying these things. Poland saying, listen, guys, we're in a pre-war state. That's kind of a big deal, guys. Poland, I've said many times, Poland is going to be the Poland's going to be like the epicenter. Poland's going to be the epicenter because of its size, because of its military, because of its spending, because of its NATO membership, and because of the Polish people as well. Polish people are great. And when the Polish people are saying this, you need to understand. Googleino is saying, can you just make videos instead of saying the same things in every single video? You just direct users to those videos if they are asking those questions. Right, yeah, I understand. Yeah, sometimes it gets difficult. But what I don't want to do What I don't want to do, guys, what I don't want to do is, because I know one of the reasons, in fact, let me get this back on. So what I don't want to do is one of the main reasons, one of the main reasons I started these channels is because people get scared, and they do. People get scared. People don't understand what's happening. People don't understand the processes that are and the systems that are in place. And you know, when Vladimir Putin comes up and he makes a threat, and you're like, yeah, like logistically, you know, I'm thinking, yeah, like Vladimir, I you know, I've got a lot of respect for you, mate, but like, you can't do that shit. You haven't got the logistics in place. Equally, you know, when Britain say we're going to do this, and I'm like, yeah, we're not going to do that. We haven't got, you know, we physically can't do that. You know, I like to in real time, I like to calm people's anxieties down. Oh, hang on. Tulip, old news, mate. Chris White, yes, Tulips is old news, mate. But her aunt has been sentenced to walk to death today. That happened today, mate. So I don't know what old news you want. That literally happened today. The article is from today, Monday the 17th at 1:45. So yeah, I mean, a couple of hours old. It's a couple of hours old, but I still don't think it's old news. I wouldn't say it's old news. Slim is saying I am her auntie. Right, listen, guys. Okay, I'm gonna jump on now. I'm gonna move forward because I want to talk about. Do you know what? I'm not going to talk about it. Actually, I'm not going to talk about it because I've done videos on it. I'm taking Googleino's advice. I'm taking Googleino's. Oh my God! What? Hang on. Right, is this now? Have we got 4 instances today? Jesus Christ. Right, guys, I'm not going to share that one with you, actually. I am going to share this with you. Thank you, Googleino. What? Right, the BBC are not reporting on this yet. Right, I'm just going to share this with you guys. This is an article from the Mirror. King's Cross Live. Underground station evacuated in major alert as cops swarm the area. Guys, we have got 4 instances now. I'm just going to read them to you quickly. Ladies and gentlemen, we have got 4 instances right now. Right, okay. First of all, we have got the Wimbledon explosion. Man injured in van blast near London train. Near, as I understand, I'm going off the top of my head, guys. Okay, it was in Wimbledon. It was at the. Excuse me. It was in Wimbledon. It was a car park. The police said that the van exploded. Okay, so that happened today. Okay. Also today, we had 2 arrests in, I believe it, guys, I'm going off the top of my head. We had 2 arrests in Northumbria. 2 men were arrested in Northumbria. Bomb disposal teams were called out. Also, we have had another 2 arrests in Sunderland, where 2 men have been arrested on suspicion of explosive charges after a bomb squad was called to a recycling centre. That's 3 in the last 24 hours. We've now got 4. Well, we've now got another incident. I'm not going to speculate what it is. Literally, guys, this is live from 8:30, updated at 8:30, okay? So we are breaking, okay? King's Cross live. Underground station evacuated in major alert as cops swarm the area. King's Cross, London St Pancras Underground station has been evacuated as police and fire crews swarm the area. A statement from the London Transport for London's website reads, King's Cross Pancras closed while we're responding to a fire alert. Tickets are being accepted on London buses. Footage shared on X shows loud alerts telling passengers to leave the train station immediately. A TfL Transport for London spokesperson said to the Mirror, to the Mirror newspaper, not into the Mirror, it was just a fire alert. The station reopened at 7:35 this evening. Look, guys, we are on high alert right now. The United Kingdom, we are on high alert. You guys can see now, can't you? You guys can see how everybody's on edge. Everybody's on tenterhooks. Everybody's on eggshells. Everybody understands what's coming. Everybody knows that something big is about to happen. And when these things happen, people go into there's a name for it. You know, the government even have a name for it. It's called Operation Plato, which would be a marauding terror attack. So what we know so far, King's Cross St Pancras station has been closed due to a fire alert. The exact nature of the incident is unknown, but footage on X shows fire engines speeding towards the station. Okay, so it does look like the station's back open. I'm just looking at some images now, guys. Does look like, what's that? Vauxhall Cavalier? Somebody's selling a Vauxhall Cavalier. I don't know why that popped up. So it does look like that incident may be closing down, but what that just highlights is how highly strung people are in the United Kingdom. Like, you wouldn't consider closing these things down 2, 3, 5 years ago. You wouldn't consider closing these things down. But what's happened is, because of the heightened terror alert, do you know, it's not even a terror alert anymore. It's not a terror alert, guys. It's not a terror alert. It's just a heightened alert. And look, guys, you know, I get into arguments with people all the time. And listen, ladies and gentlemen, okay, I'm happy to take arguments on this, and I totally accept arguments. The definition of a terrorist attack, of something to be terrorism, you know, let me, you know, I'm going to share this with you. Give me a second. So the Oxford Dictionary, this is what I learned. So the Oxford Dictionary definition of terrorism is the unlawful use of violence and intimidation, especially against civilians, in pursuit of political aims. Now, if that person is a lone wolf and they're not aligned with a political, religious, or racial group, it's very difficult to say that it's terrorism. And I get it, guys. I totally get it. Oh, it's terrorizing people, though. Guys, look, I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm not being a dick. I'm just telling you that's not what the definition is. And you're not arguing with me. You're arguing with the literal Oxford Dictionary. So don't argue with me. But Sean, beheading people on the street is terrorism. No, it's not. It's not. Blowing yourself up outside a church, it's terrorism. No, it's not. If that person doesn't have a link to political aims, it's not terrorism. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen? That is more terrifying. It's more terrifying that some of the... Slightly off topic. Don't you think it's more terrifying that these people are not terrorists? Think about it. Think about it, guys, okay? Think about it for a second, okay? Don't you think it's more terrifying that these people are not aligned to a political regime? Don't you think it's more terrifying that these people don't have alliances to a political, racial, religious group? That they're just waking up one morning and thinking, do you know what? I'm going to go stabby, rammy, or bommy. Do you not think that's more terrifying? I certainly do, because when you have people who are aligned with these political aims, these political groups, you can track them, you can hack them, you can electronically take down their networks, you can send in special forces guys to take down the headshed or turn the headshed. With these lone wolf attacks, guys, you can't do anything. I promise you, I've worked on this at the highest levels of the British government. You can't do it. You can't do anything. If some kid in his bedroom, or a man, whoever, whatever, if a Norwegian fisherman, is sat in his room or his hotel, let's just say Norwegian fisherman's here in a hotel, right? You guys know what I'm feeling. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah, you guys can read between the lines. I know you can, because you guys are the smartest. Let's just pretend, for example, a Norwegian fisherman is sat in a hotel somewhere in the United Kingdom. And, whatever. And he's planning something really bad. And he's not told anyone. And he doesn't tell anyone. How are you going to stop that? How are you going to intercept that network? There isn't a network. So, when people jump on and say, oh, but Sean, it's terrorizing people. I'm like, yeah, mate, that's not the definition of terrorism, right? You're not arguing with me. You're literally arguing with the, you're arguing with the dictionary. So don't argue with me. Write a letter to the Oxford Dictionary. Tell them that, the definition of terrorism should be changed, because I'm just giving you the definition, okay? Trump has put a kill order out for Maduro. How much is that for? How much is that? I'll have a go at that. Left wing, right wing, the wings of the same bird are being played big time. They are, guys. We need to start. We need to start understanding this as people of the United Kingdom. In fact, you know what? Let me finish this carbonation, because it's gone a little bit flat. I've got some more carbonated beverages ready. I need to take them out of the fermenter, but just hold there. God, honestly, guys, you've no idea how cold it is in here today. Listen, if anybody's considering brewing their own beer, do it. Absolutely. It tastes better. There's no harsh chemicals in it. You know exactly what's gone into it. And I brew my beer, and I've got it down to 20 pence a pint. I think I need to put some more CO2 in that. Yeah, I think I'll just get one more pint out of this, and then I'll need to put some more CO2 in it. I agree. It's not, it's not the most beautiful one, because I need to, it's running low, and I've got some more that I need to do. But anyway, guys, Shmishnahu. 20p a pint. We're going to Sean's for Christmas. A lot of the money in beer, guys, it is tax. A lot of that money in beer is tax. If you brew your own, do you know what? I don't even know if you have to. I don't think I don't know. Do you have? Do I have to? I don't know. Do I have to pay tax? Oh no, from AI, you do not have to pay tax on homebrewed beer for personal use in the UK. However, you would be liable if you were selling it. I'm not selling it. I don't sell it. I don't sell it. So yeah, yeah. Anyway, sorry guys, I'm going on a side quest. Let's get back on track, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get back on track. Happy Moo is saying it's all just terminology. Terror is terror. I don't buy what the media says about terrorist attacks not being terrorist motivated. Forget groups, etc. from the dictionaries. Things have changed. Look, I totally understand what everybody is saying, and I do. I absolutely understand what everybody's saying. The reason I'm saying this, Happy Moo, is I know it's all just terminology, but you know when like people get angry at the police saying there's no terrorist motive, I'm giving you the reason why they're saying that, because for it to have a terrorist motive, it has to be politically linked, either to a political, racial, religious, or I don't know, some sort of ideological. It has to have some sort of ideological link. So I totally accept, like I said before, guys. I totally accept what that people feel that all these things are terror related, because some people may be some people some people may self-identify as an Islamic State operator, but that's self-identification. Guys, I'm going to leave it there. I'm being didactic. I understand what everybody's saying. I just wanted to talk about that, because when people come out and they say, "Oh, the police are," you've got to understand that the police have to go by those. Jake is saying, "You have me dying when you drag that in." Listen, guys, this bad boy is 19 kilos. It's not 19 kilos now, but it's 19 kilos when it started. Donna is saying, teacher killed 25 girls abducted in gun battle at Nigerian school. I can remember when Boko Haram. So Boko Haram are the Islamist group that operate in Nigeria, and they're bad guys. They're not good guys. They do a lot of bad stuff. Now, Boko Haram, I think it was. I can't remember what it was. It was when Obama was. It was when Obama was president, and Boko Haram, I think they abducted 150 schoolgirls. Christian schoolgirls from a school in Nigeria. I may be slightly wrong on that. Guys, I'm doing this off the top of my head. Boko, do you know what? So this was 2024. Yeah. So I'm just going to go with this, guys. Okay. So, when I go, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of the information I give you is off the top of my head. But when I'm saying things that are slightly diversive, I need to go and I need to check these things. Okay. I need to fact check myself. So this was the Chibok schoolgirl kidnapping on the night of the 14th of April, 2014. 276 Christian schoolgirls aged from 16 to 18 were kidnapped by the Nigerian militant group Boko Haram from government girls' secondary school in the town of Chibok in Borno State, Nigeria. Prior to the raid, the school had been closed for 4 weeks due to deteriorating security conditions, but the girls were in attendance to take their final exams in physics. Where's all the liberals about this, guys? Where's all the liberals? Where's all the liberals here? This was 10 years ago. This was 11 years ago. 11 years ago, guys. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? 276 Christian schoolgirls were abducted by Boko Haram. a lot of stuff that happens, you know, and I would say treating people differently because of the color of their skin is racism. I would, and I'm not into that, guys. I'm not. I think people should be treated on their actions. That's why on many of my live streams, I always talk about this. I always talk about this is not about race. This is about culture. We have big culture problems, you know. So here's the thing, guys. Okay, if we're letting in Nigerians into the United Kingdom and they are all up for Boko Haram kidnapping Christian schoolgirls, do you think there's problems there? Do you think there's problems? You know, do we think there are problems by letting undocumented? Do you think there's any problems that could arise by letting undocumented? I can't even say it with a straight face, guys. I'm sorry. Do you think there's any problem? Do you think there could be any problems with letting hundreds, thousands? It is thousands. Do you think there could be any problems with letting thousands of undocumented Nigerian men into the United Kingdom? Well, that must make you a racist. I'm like, no, that doesn't make me a racist. You liberals ignoring the almost 300 Christian Nigerian girls that were kidnapped in 2014 because they're black. That makes you a racist. Oh, it doesn't make me a racist because I've got my little flag. No, it makes you a fucking racist. It's like the definition of racism. What, are you only bothered about minorities that you can see and that have like white skin? Is that what the liberals are? Are liberals only bothered about minorities they can see? Oh, that's an African problem. Yeah, guess what? Those African problems are getting really close now, guys. You know those machetes and shit? Listen, guys, I'm all for diversity. 10 years ago, 20 years ago, you would have to travel to Central. You would have to travel to Central. You would have to travel to Central Africa to see some machete fights, and now you can see them on the streets of London. Hashtag diversity, hashtag cultural enrichment. Right, let me jump down. Sorry, guys. Listen, I think I need to stay off that source. Jake is saying facts. Emma, everyone is, but still send their kids to school. Make it make sense because I'm struggling with this fear stuff, and the kids still going to school. I think I don't know what you guys are talking about, but I think what we're talking about there is like the amount of schools in the United Kingdom that are going in lockdown is oh, hang on a minute. I'll come on to this next, James, because I'll come on to this next. Okay. Yeah. So my sister took her son out of school. She says, I'm not sending my son to school to learn bullshit so he can get a job at minimum wage, so he can pay taxes to fund the government. And when she went to do the homeschooling thing, so you like when you take kids out of school and you do the homeschooling thing, we've not taken our girls out of school. I do want the girls to go into school. I do want them to have that experience. Jesus Christ. Is there another? Donna, have we got 5 now? Have we got 5? Donna. Oh, guys, I can't keep up. I can't keep up. Guys, I cannot keep up. Donna, are you saying... Donna, please put it in the chat because I don't think I've got the capacity. Right, okay, there may be 5. Right, homeschooling. Basically, my sister took her kid out of school, and you have to go to like a college or something, and they teach you how to homeschool or you register or whatever. And she was saying that the amount of people that are taking their kids out of school now is unbelievable. Right. All right, okay, I'm reading this here, guys. Okay, so this is... Okay, so Police are taking no further action against a man who triggered a bomb scare at Stoke-on-Trent's main hospital. 5 police cars headed to the Royal Stoke Hospital following the threat. It happened Thursday the 3rd. Why are we only finding out about this now? It happened Thursday the 13th of November. Royal Stoke praised its staff for their response to the incident. Staffordshire Police said, we were called to reports of a bomb threat at Royal Stoke University Hospital. I'm just trying to find the actual no further. A man in the waiting area had told staff he had a bomb. Officers attended and established there was no bomb or threat to safety. No further action was taken against the man. The man. And that's all it's giving you. You know, there's something called, what's it called? It's not Occam's razor. Murphy's Law. There's something called Murphy's Law. Now, Murphy's Law is, you talk about, if you're in the military, you talk about it all the time. Like, because you see wild, when you're in the military, you see wild things. You do. You see things that are like, it's like somebody hitting a full house on the river, and you see it more than you expect. It just shouldn't happen. So Murphy's Law is, in a nutshell, everything that can happen will happen. And I think, you know what, guys, as life experience, take that on board, all right? Anything that can happen will happen, given a long enough time frame. Inevitability, all right? Inevitability. So whether that's making sure you've got dry wood to keep it, put in your log burner, whether that's making sure you've got money in the bank, whatever that is, okay? Whatever bad shit can happen will happen over a long enough time frame. But the reason I'm bringing Murphy's Law to the forefront of everybody's consciousness, Murphy's Law is when you're in the military, everybody understands Murphy's Law. But as a civilian, moving into this new militarized world that we're heading towards, we are having more and more of these threats, mental health, you know, not terrorism, but he went stabby, stabby, rammy, rammy. And it's just, we are reaching critical mass. We're reaching critical mass, you know, and for those of you guys who was on the live stream last night, and I spoke about this earlier this morning, for those of you guys who was on that, we talked about minimum numbers death toll for a civil war in the United Kingdom is 23,000 people per year. We're heading there, guys. I promise you, we are absolutely heading there. Right, Zelensky. Is Zelensky going to panic and fire Flamingo Ukrainian missiles into Moscow starting World War III because he's becoming a desperate man? Right, okay. I don't know if you guys... Right, okay. Where do I go with this? Where do I go with this? Do you want a monologue? Right, okay. Fuck it. So, this is fact. I'm going to give you fact. So, before Zelensky was elected, he was a low-level comedian. He wasn't anything, you know, he was a comedian. He then got given a show. Okay, just for context, Zelensky or Zelensk is translated means onion. It does, guys. Many layers to an onion. Okay, you feeling me, bro? So Zelensky was given. He pretty much came from nowhere. I can't remember the oligarch that the channel was, but he was basically, I think it might be channel 1 or channel, I can't remember the channel. But basically, Zelensky, guys, I'm going to give you, I'm just conscious of the time, so I'm going to give you this as an entertainment video. Fact check it. I'm not meaning to mislead anyone. I'm just going to talk to you guys as if we were sat here having a sherbet. So Zelensky was a comedian, and he got a role in a show, and it was called like Yes President or Yes whatever. And the premise of that show on Ukrainian TV was that some guy just fell into the Ukrainian presidency, and he didn't really mean to be president. He was just an accidental president. Sound familiar? Then come 20, what was it? 20, I don't know, 22 elections or whatever, Zelensky decides he wants to run for president of Ukraine with no experience. Absolutely fine. I'm not against that, guys. I'm 100% not against that. He won. The channel, the party that Zelensky formed was the same name as the show. The show that he used to, he was the main actor in, it was like Yes President or Yes for Me President or something. The show that he ran with, that won it was like the top show in Ukraine. Everybody was watching it because the channel was absolutely pumping and pumping and pumping that. Come, to where we are now, where we have literally that same direction of travel, because he had that media exposure. He had people watching him as president. He had people, again, whatever. I'm giving you facts. I'm giving you the facts. Now, as we're speaking, there is investigations in Ukraine over people who are linked to Zelensky. And I know what you guys are thinking. There was an embezzlement. There was an embezzlement from military goods. No, there wasn't. There was a potential for entertainment purposes, for hearsay, do your own research. There was a potential embezzlement of government funds to repair energy infrastructure. So you know how everybody's doing the fine toothpick over the arms sales that are going into Ukraine? Yeah, everybody's doing that, right? Yeah, everybody's doing that. You got that, Yeah, we've got 30 million rounds of 7.62. Don't lose any of them rounds, guys. 30 million rounds. Get them out to the guys. Yeah, they're fucking gone. Yeah. Nobody's looking at the infrastructure repairs. Nobody's looking at the energy infrastructure repairs. Nobody's looking at the schools that have been rebuilt. Nobody's looking at the roads that are being rebuilt. Where's all that money going? I'm just saying, this is a scandal. There's a scandal brewing in Ukraine right now, ladies and gentlemen, that could bring Zelensky down. I don't know where we would stand with that. I really don't know where we would go with that. I do think he's done well as a I do think he would do well as a. I think he has done well as a president as such. Teresa is saying Hunter Biden and the fake energy deals. Teresa, have you been on my live streams before when I told you that I lost out to an energy deal from Biden? Yeah, I did. Little Raven, we had 3 gas wells. We had 3 gas wells in Ukraine that needed refurbishing, all right? We had 3 gas wells needed refurbishing. I'd set up a deal with the Ukrainian government, a British company, a British company that could do that. We'd got the funds. We'd got the financing. I was going to take 3%. I was taking 3% gross. Guys, I would have never had to work in my life. And when I drove back from that meeting, when I drove back through, I'm not going to tell you where it was, but I drove back through a very nice part of the world, and I was just so happy. I was so happy. Everything was done. Everything had been signed. This side, the Ukrainians, they were getting free stuff. And then everything went cold. Nobody would sign any documents. The documents that they said they'd already signed, they'd not signed, and we couldn't get in touch with them. Found out Hunter Biden was out there buying up all these, allegedly for entertainment purposes only. But if anybody wants to call me out, I will literally, if any news agencies out there want to call me out on this, guys, anybody wants to call me out on this, please, I dare you. I would love it. Take me to court. Literally, take me to court right now for fake news. I fucking beg you. I absolutely beg anyone who's out there watching who wants to take me to court for what I'm saying right now, I beg you, please do it. Please do it. because that will give me the exposure that I need to expose this stuff. I've got the Ukrainian documents translated. All the documents translated, still on my hard drive, you know, and I'll be happy to show them to anyone who would. Anyway, but yes, Hunter Biden energy deals. They weren't fake energy deals; they were real energy deals. So the Hunter Biden fake energy deals were as such that Hunter Biden went out there, allegedly for entertainment purposes only, guys. Do your own fact checking. Don't listen to me. I'm just some guy on the internet. Sometimes I get things wrong, but I never mean to mislead. Do your fact checking on this, okay? So Hunter Biden went out on the, allegedly, Hunter Biden went out there. He was doing some wild things on his laptop with young Ukrainian girls, but they couldn't show the videos because those girls were underage, and that would be very bad. Anyway, so Hunter Biden's out there. He's doing his Hunter Biden thing. Just want to have a good time, man. I just want to just here for a good time, man. I remember when that dickhead was there. And I know the hotel he was staying at as well. Anyway, so he went out there. He was buying up these gas fields. So for those of you guys who don't know, Ukraine was the world's 7th largest gas producer. I believe they could be the world's top gas producer. The amount of gas that they have under the ground in Ukraine, it's phenomenal, guys. It really is. There's a lot of gas in Ukraine. So Hunter Biden went out there and he bought these gas fields. He bought my gas field, the one I was going to work in, Little Raven, who went to a comprehensive school in Rotherham. I almost got 3%. Anyway. So he bought these gas fields allegedly for entertainment purposes. Then everybody was thinking, right, okay, when are they going to start coming in and refurbishing them? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Why are they like not refurbishing these gas fields? Why are they not coming? Why is the Biden, it wasn't the Biden, it was like the hedge funds that he was associated with. Why are they not coming in and refurbishing these gas fields? And then the war breaks out, right? And then the 2022 invasion happens and you're like, oh, so if you'd have brought your machinery in, you would have lost that machinery, right? Good thing you didn't bring your machinery in and lose millions and millions of dollars. All right, well, that was a bit of good luck for you guys. Then a bill was passed, and I don't know if this has been receded. Then a bill was passed in the United States. Then a bill was passed in the United States saying that U.S. money could support the Ukrainian energy infrastructure. So now you have U.S. taxpayers' money, potentially for entertainment purposes only, going to Ukraine and then going back to the Biden family. So the Hunter Biden fake energy deals is just exactly that. Oh, hang on a minute. A major incident. Guys, let me get onto this. I'm doing it now. I can't find anything. Right, let me try X. Give me a second, guys. Let me try X. X is always better. If this has just happened, no, I'm not getting anything, guys. I'm getting nothing. Absolutely nothing. Where are you getting that from, Googleino? Can you give me like a steer? All right, okay. Okay, so from 3 hours ago, right, I have got this, guys. I have got this. Police issue a Glasgow city centre incident as busy cordoned off area. Glasgow issue an update. Police issue an update on Glasgow city centre incident as busy area cordoned off. Right, I'm gonna go. Right, I'm gonna go with the Glasgow. I'm gonna go with the Glasgow Live. I'm just gonna see what the Glasgow Live are saying. Police issue update on Glasgow city centre incident as busy area cordoned off. We previously told how Regent Street near the junction with Wellington Street was cordoned off following an emergency incident on Monday afternoon. After the busy area was taped off. We previously, literally, just fucking said that. The road was closed around 3:35 p.m. on Monday, 17th of November, today, and emergency services were called to the scene. Officers have now confirmed that 2 pedestrians were struck by a vehicle. 1 person is hospital for treatment. The nature of the injuries may remain unknown. The other was checked by paramedics at the scene. Police say the road has reopened and is underway. So it looks like this incident's over now, and a spokesperson said they were called to a collision involving a vehicle and 2 pedestrians. So I'm not going to speculate what this may or may not be. What I will say is, if this was Rami normally hits crowds, lots of crowds. 2 people doesn't really seem like a crowd to me, but you know what? I don't know. It is some crazy stuff happening. UK primary school in lockdown as man with air fryer pulls stop. This happened to the girls. So this happened to the girls' school. It did. Like a couple of guys, I'm going to have to go to the toilet. Hang on there. I'm not going to close the live stream down. I'm going to finish my beer. Then I'm going to close the live stream down. I've still got a fair bit left. So I'm going to go to Mr. Wee Wee. Can you guys wait right there? For a second? I'm just going to jump. I'm just going to jump to the toilet and I'll be right back. Give me a second. Thank you for waiting for me, ladies and gentlemen. So the girls, they had the same incident as Googlino saying there. The girls had there was a guy with a pellet gun, and the school had to go into lockdown. So you can imagine like how I was with this. So now the schools don't even tell you when the kids have gone into lockdown; they tell you afterwards. So I got a message on the phone saying, "Do you know what? I don't even know what my phone is." So I got a message on my phone saying, "Dear parent," just telling me that it was all over, and I was like, "Wow, this is real now. We're really living in this stuff." Trevor is saying, "Sean, are you a private investigator by any chance?" No, I'm not a private investigator. I got asked if I wanted to investigate the war crimes in 2022. I got asked if I wanted to be part of a team investigating war crimes in Ukraine. I said yes. I'd seen the evidence and I was like, yeah, absolutely. I'm going to get to the bottom of this. And I may even have to I will fucking take this to the candy shop. A good friend of mine came over to me and he's like, "Sean, listen, mate, I've done this sort of work before. it fucking, just don't do it. I said, what do you mean? He said, honestly, mate, it will ruin your soul. I said, mate, seriously, what are you on about? He said, I did this, and he went to another country. He did a similar thing in Haiti, and he investigated. I'm not going to go into it, but he investigated similar stuff, and he just said, "Look, Sean, it's fucking not worth it." He was telling me that the toll it took on him and his family. So no, sorry, direct answer, no, I'm not. Right, I'm going to jump to the bottom, guys. Lots of comments. Good evening, everybody. Sean, can you have a guess what rifle that is? What rifle? What is? I don't know. Oh, armed response units rushed to the scene whilst a drone was deployed in an attempt to track down a suspect. What's going on here? What rifle it is? If it's British police, they will be using 5.56, so it will probably be like I don't know, like maybe I don't know, an M4 or something, a C8. Bloody hell! There's a picture of him with a rifle. What's going on here? I'm missing something here. What's going on? I'm missing all this stuff. Right, I'm missing something here. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. We have gone from a high trust society to a low trust society. When you go to, like, for example, this is going to sound bad. Do you know, I don't even care. We have gone from a high trust. We are a high trust. If you are British, do you know what, right? What's the game? Fast Jet Performance. Does anybody watch Fast Jet Performance? I love that guy, Fast Jet Performance. I've got friends who are friends of his. Go and watch his channel, guys. He's great. And he was saying, you guys know what I'm going to feel about this. You guys are going to absolutely know. So he did a video the other day, and he said, he was talking about what is it to be British. And he was saying he's figured it out. He was, he's saying he's found it out. I think his name's Tim. We served in Afghanistan at the same time, but he was a pilot and I was on the ground, so we never really crossed paths. But I've got friends who are friends with him, and I'm trying to get him on. Anyway, so his name's, sorry, I'm waffling. So he was saying, it doesn't matter what his name is. He was saying his test. So what is it to be British? What is it to be British? And he's saying, like, what is it to be British? What does it mean to be British? Yeah, you've got your passport, but you know what? So is Tulip. Good old Tulip Sadiqi's got her passport. She's got a British passport, but she also claims to be Bangladeshi. So what is it to be British? And he's saying it doesn't matter about the piece of paper you've got. It doesn't matter about the piece of paper you've got. And I agree with this. Absolutely, because I've seen this. I've seen this myself with my own eyes, and I've been there. And I've done that. And you guys have known from some stories in Baghdad, in all over great places. To be British, I mean really British. I mean British to your soul. Picture the scene now. And this is what he says, fascist performance. He's saying, you're there, all right? There's the enemy, and they're coming towards you. The enemy are charging you down. That you're the last one left. There's no one else now. You're there defending the British Empire. There's only you left. Nobody else. Everybody else is gone. They're all dead. Nobody else can make it. There's just you left. What are you going to do if you're British? If you're British, you know exactly what you're going to do. You already know. You don't need me to tell you what you're going to do if you're British. If you're British, at that last moment, you're going to draw your sword. You're going to throw that scabbard away, because that sword ain't going back in that scabbard. It ain't going back. You know you're facing certain death. You're going to stand there with your sword and you're going to say, let's fucking have this. And that's what it is to be British. That's what it is to be British. And I've seen so many other nations. I would get this banned now if I was on TikTok. I've seen so many nations going around the world when the gunfire starts, they throw themselves in the ground, and they're scared. Oh no, I don't want to be gangster anymore. Do you know what the British do? And I'll say the Americans do the same. The British and the Americans, look, guys, I've spent a lot of time with Americans. They're great guys. The British and the Americans will take that slack. They will go above and beyond what is expected of them every time, without fail. They'll become greater than the sum of their own parts. I've been in gunfights, and all the Afghanis have thrown their weapons down and ran off. I've been there. I've seen that. If I said that on TikTok, I'd get banned. I've seen that. I've seen the Brits and the Americans instantly come together. They don't even, like Brits, we don't even know each other that well. We don't even know it. But when the bad guys are running towards you, you gel, you come together, you form a group that is strong. It's greater than the sum of their own parts. I don't know where I was going with that, guys. That was a total side quest. That was a total side quest, wasn't it? I don't know where I was going with that. Let me jump down, ladies and gentlemen. I do apologize. I think I've lost my point there. Yes, no, I've not lost my point. So the point is, British society is a high trust society. Without those British people in that society, if you dilute that society with other people who are not British, who are not willing to stand there with a sword and say, yeah, fucking here and no further, mate, then that society breaks down. Which is what we're seeing here with people waving air rifles around primary schools. Right, guys, I'm conscious of the time. I've been on far too long and I'm absolutely freezing, but I've still got some beer left. So, Trevor Pritchard is saying, keep going. I will keep going. Listen, I'm not one to leave a pint behind. Donna is saying 2 hours ago from the Express, UK must face the reality we are already at war with Putin as Russia. A former head of NATO says Russian dictator Vladimir Putin has already declared war on the United States. He has, guys. He declared it a long time ago. He declared it a long time ago. Absolutely a long time ago. You know, and what is coming, you know, what is coming? What is coming? People really don't understand. Karma Creepy Queen. Karma Creepy Queen, is that your face on the on your thumbnail? And do you really have that tattoo above your left eye? And if you do, what does it say? And did it hurt? Like, I can't imagine how much that must have hurt. But I think it looks cool. But anyway, Karma Creepy Queen is saying, bloody hell, I've just got on. Karma Creepy Queen, if you was on 2 minutes earlier, you would have just seen me go on a right side quest. Carolina Richard is saying the Irish. Listen, when I talk about right now for all my live streams, when I talk about Britain, I'm talking about Ireland as well. I am, guys. I'm talking about Ireland. I'm talking about England, I'm talking about Ireland, I'm talking about Northern Ireland, I'm talking about Scotland, I'm talking about Wales. Look, guys, we can have our squabbles. We can have our little fallings out. But right now, I think we have united with a common enemy. 3 school children were taken to us. Jesus, what? Where was this? What? Fuck off. This can't be a headline. Jesus Christ. Oh my, I can't even. Googleino, thank you so much. Right, I'm going to read this. 3 school children taken to hospital after being poisoned in science lab. Okay, so it might not be as bad as we think. Police spotted school after a chemical taken from a laboratory. Excuse me. Head teachers say. This is from 8:21. So I was on the live stream when this broke. 3 children were taken to hospital after they were poisoned when a pupil. Okay, so it was a pupil. allegedly added a coloured chemical to their water bottles. A pupil and a group of their classmates in Oxfordshire school are reported to have deliberately put copper sulfate. Okay, so it's not going to be the end of the world. It's just a bit of copper sulfate. All right. Might make them strong. Okay, right, okay. So the headline, okay, so all right, so this is just horseplay. This is horseplay. Listen, when I was at school, like people used to shank each other. So a little bit of copper sulfate. I don't think a little bit of copper sulfate never hurt anyone. Carolina Ritchie is saying war's been declared, but Starmer still buries his head in the sand. Like, has anyone seen where is Keir Starmer? Like, gee, yes. Helen MG. Oh no, not Helen MG. 10 megabytes UK. Exactly. Where is Starmer? Where is he? Where is he? When was the last time he did a press conference? You know, literally, where did he do a, like, when was the last time Keir Starmer did a press conference? Emma Watts is saying, do we care where he is? As the Prime Minister of Britain, and I'm British, I will always be British, guys, you know, I would say, yes, we care where he is. Like, he should be doing shit, at least something, you know, at least like, you know, dealing with rent boy accusations or something. Right, let me just jump up, guys. Let me check this chat. Trevor Pritchard is saying, sounds like an idiot in my class in 1990. Creepy Karma, sorry, not creepy. Sorry, it's not creepy. Karma Creepy Queen. You commented on a video of mine a while ago, and I can't respond to that comment. I've tried many times. Karma Creepy Queen is saying, didn't hurt there, but the sparkles under my other eye did. You may need to change your thumbnail. I can't see the sparkles under your other eye, but I'm not doubting they're sparkling. Right, listen, ladies and gentlemen, it's freezing in here, and if I stay in here any longer, I promise you, I'm going to turn into Mr. Freeze. You know, like not even a cool Mr. Freeze. I'm going to turn into like Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I hate to say this, but do you know what? I'm not even going to say this because I think Arnold Schwarzenegger was the best Mr. Freeze. We've had a very limited stock. But I'm going to say Arnold Schwarzenegger was the best Mr. Freeze. So I'm not even going to mention that. But if I stay in any longer, guys, I think I'm going to turn into an icicle. But the crux of this live stream, ladies and gentlemen, have been World War III fears. There have been drone attacks on NATO ships just off the coast of Ukraine. Multiple explosive devices in the United Kingdom. And again, you know, I said earlier on, I think multiple explosions is misleading in the United Kingdom. So I will change that. I will change that on the thumbnail to like something else, because there's not been multiple explosions. There's been, I think, 4 instances within the last 24 hours where military bomb disposals being called out, and whether it be a hoax, whether it be somebody's been arrested because explosives have been found or something else. We have had 4 instances within the last 24 hours, guys. Literally, we've had 4 instances within the last 24 hours. The World War III warning with the drone attacks on the NATO ship. This was a Turkish, which is a member of NATO. One attack on one member state is deemed an attack on all the member states. Although you guys know, I don't think that has much. concept anymore. But what I'm getting at here is I do think World War III will start by accident. I've said it many times, many times. There was an incident like last year or the year before where a German ship was fired on by a Russian ship. Sorry, a German helicopter was fired at signal flares by a Russian ship. That could have gone wrong, guys, really quickly. And as more nations are implementing Article 4, this gives the legal framework for that to happen. Well, there's Sean with his legal framework again. There's Sean with his legal framework. Angela Rayner is back on the horizon. I hope so, guys. Honestly, I hope so. Please make it so. I want her back in government, guys. I want Angela Rayner back in government. Absolutely. Like, I'm gutted. Honestly, I'm gutted she was gone. She was the gift that keeps giving. She was the gift that I'm out in government, me now, but because I'm not educated, I can go back in government. Even though I've got done off fiddle, if you'll not vote for me, I'll give you loads of tax cuts. And any bits of paper you want to sign, I'll proper sign them right good. Angela Rayner. Listen, guys, I hope Angela Rayner comes back. Trevor was his name. Okay, I don't know. Okay, I don't know. Some cultures do have, yeah, they do, guys. I was watching a video of some guy doing like knife fighting and stuff, and I don't know. I'm not into all that stuff. Give me a knife, give me a Beretta, and I'm down with whatever. Karma Creepy Queen is saying makeup covers them. Don't cover them. Own it, Karma Creepy Queen. Makeup covers them. I've also got the OM sign on the side of my face. Like the Egyptian thing. You've got the Egyptian thing. My mum said I'm grounded if I get any more on my face. Oh, thank you so much as well to Lisa Jane. Thank you so much, everyone. Listen, guys, oh, hang on. What's happening here? Putin signals World War III as Doomsday Radio threatens war with NATO country. Look, guys, I do think that's going to happen. I've said this many times. I think Poland. Keep your eyes on Poland. If another country is going to get attacked, in my opinion, it's going to be Poland. It might not be, but I'm saying it's going to be Poland. Russia's sinister Doomsday Radio broadcast, a threat to NATO in a burst of coded messages on Monday, simply said Latvia, the name of an allied state. Okay, okay. Knowing what I know about Russian culture, Soviet culture, Slavic culture, I would say that this is... I would say my opinion would be that this is fake news. No, not fake news at all. Not fake news at all. I would say this is propaganda. This is asymmetric warfare. I would say Latvia is not going to be the target. That's what I would say. Again, you know, it may be a double bluff. I don't know. We love a double bluff. We love a double bluff. Oh, Sean, look at Donna's comment. Right, Donna's comment. Alert? Emergency alert? What are we talking about? Lexi, hello Lexi. Lexi, have you commented before? And if you've not commented before, you are most welcome. And I hope you're going to be commenting more. Storm a meeting with people from the Caribbean who want reparations. Look, guys, at this point, I think I just want to destroy it. I just want to destroy the country. You know what? I don't want to mean that. I mean that in a positive way, because you can't rebuild something until it's broken. You know, like, you know when you've got a car and that car keeps going, you don't buy a new one, do you? You wait till that car is just totally fucked and you're like, yeah, we need a new one now. And that's what we need. So if the Caribbeans want reparations, I think we should all give them. Whatever they want, I'm down for it. Let's raise taxes. Let's just raise taxes. Let's just everybody, because like my family came from My family came from France in the 11th century. So you could argue that I'm a boat migrant, which, you know, I'm descended from boat migrants. You could argue that. My family settled in North Yorkshire. I'm not going to tell you the town, because the town's named after my family name. We settled in North Yorkshire. Settled. We didn't go there and ask for benefits. Like in the 11th century, we didn't turn up in a random part of the United Kingdom and say, give me free stuff. I want free stuff. No. We turned up there. We cultivated the land. We grew crops. We built stuff. You know, that's what my family did. My family built stuff here. That's what settlers do. So when you see these people saying, Britain was built by... Yeah, I tell you what, mate. Go to West Falklands. Go to West Falklands and settle the West Falklands. See how that works out for you. I saw something the other day. Somebody had put a post on... Somebody had put a post on... I think it was X. It definitely was X. It's the only thing I really scroll through. Saying... if you put 100 billionaires and 100 workers on an island, who do you think could flourish? And then they put, my money's not on the billionaires. And it's fucking bullshit. It's bullshit. Those billionaires will work, improvise, adapt, and overcome. Those workers have no... And I don't mean the workers. What she's talking about is migrant workers. So, like, low-paid migrant workers. If anybody's ever employed a low-paid... Guys, I'm going to stop that. I'm just waffling on. I'm waffling on. I said I was going to close this down, and I said I was going to close this live stream down, and I'm waffling on, and I keep waffling on. Rocketman Gaming is saying, like my granddad used to say, we won the war, but we lost the battle. I'm seeing it now, unfortunately. Yeah, you know what? Sometimes, Bane, you know when Bane fights Batman, and he says, I see, victory has defeated you. Oh, and Karma Creepy Queen is saying, I'm really scared. Why are you really scared, Karma Creepy Queen? Sean, what does it mean? What does what mean? Let me go up and get your last comment. Right, okay. This comes hours after Poland's Prime Minister confirmed that this was... Right, okay, was sabotage. Okay, right. First of all, 6 minut, будь ласка. The thing about it being freezing in here, the beer stays cold. So... I keep saying, guys, okay. Oh, hang on. Right, okay, I will. Okay. Okay, so right, okay. So I'm gonna give you my analysis of this, guys. Okay, I'm gonna give you my analysis of this. Right, I'm gonna give you my analysis of this. So there's no strategic... Well, there is. The biggest strategic gambit for Russia is Poland. It is Poland. The biggest strategic gambit is Poland. For Russia to go into... Okay. Okay. What time? Jesus Christ. You guys have kept me on for a long time. Right. Okay. So, Europe. I've traveled Europe vastly. I love European culture. I don't want to be part of the European Union, but I do love European culture. I do. You travel through Europe, it's fucking beautiful, guys. I don't mean the like big cities. I mean like the little townships out in the countryside, in the mountainous regions. It's absolutely beautiful. Poland. all the logistics, all the manpower, everything is in Poland. Everything's in Poland. So if you were sat there as Russia, and you only get one strike, and then everybody's going to come at you. All right, everybody's going to come at you. You get one free strike. I think this is a good way to describe it. So just imagine you're there as a boxer. All right, you're there as a boxer. You get one free strike. Are you going to go with the knockout strike, or are you going to hit him in the ankle? You're going to go with the knockout strike, right? You're going to go with that. So if you're the Russians and you want to strike another country to limit the capacity of Ukraine to fight you on the front line, you're going to go with Poland. You're going to go with Rzeszów. That's the town. You're going to go with Rzeszów. In fact, let me see if I can get this on the map. You're going to go with Rzeszów. Give me a second, guys. Where's the war map? It might not actually be on here. Yeah, it is. I think it is. No, it's not. Yes, it is. No, it's not. Interesting. Yeah, there is. So let me share this map with you guys. Give me a second. Let me share this map. I'm going to share this map. Oh, hang on a minute. Furious schoolgirl 12 dies after being made to do 100 sit-ups for being late. How do you die for doing 100 sit-ups? That's a lot of sit-ups to make a 12-year-old do. That's a lot of sit-ups, guys. Right, let me share this map with you guys. Okay, so we're talking. I just want to talk through Europe for a second, guys. I know I know you guys are. Let me go through Europe real quick. So here we've got Europe. We've got Ukraine. You've got the front line. You've got Latvia here. You've got Estonia, all bordering Russia. All bordering Russia. They're all bordering Russia. If it's one of, there's lots of countries that this could be. There is, guys. There's lots of countries that this could be. For me, as an analyst, I'm saying it's Poland. Like, you could attack Latvia. You could attack Estonia. You're not really achieving much. Let's just say the Russians take Estonia. For example, let's just say they take Latvia, okay? I know a professor actually in Riga. Let's just say they take Latvia. All right. What have they achieved? Well, they've got access to they've got access to the Baltics, but they already had access to the Baltics. They have isolated Estonia, so Estonia could be next. So yeah, maybe it could be Latvia. For me, the ace in the hole here is this town here, Rzeszów. So this town here, Rzeszów. That little town there, Rzeszów. I don't know if you guys can see my cursor, but I'm there. So that town there, Rzeszów. So for those of you guys who don't know, Rzeszów is the closest international airport to the Ukrainian border, which is there. You can see that border. So Rzeszów has all the NGO support. It has all the military officers. It has all the logistics from the militaries. They're all in storage yards in and around Rzeszów. Because guess what? Just here, this little town here, I don't know if you guys can see that, Przemyśl, that town there, Przemyśl, is the closest town to the Ukrainian border that has the big gauge rail tracks. And for those of you guys who've talked about this before, you have to get on the big gauge rail tracks to go into Ukraine. So if we're talking about a country that's going to be hit, I would say it's Poland, and I would say it's that town there, Rzeszów. Again, look, guys, I may be wrong. I'm not trying to mislead anyone. I'm giving you guys my analysis. Maybe the Russians know something different. Maybe there's some super secret stuff that's happening in Latvia that I don't know about. It doesn't really matter. you know, so I just wanted to throw it out there, guys. Okay, I do think that is that's the next place, guys. I do think that's the next place, Poland, regardless to what other people say. Right, listen, guys, I am going to close this down now. If you guys will let me get off and get to bed, because it is absolutely freezing in here. I'm going to close this down now. World War V, Michael. What's Michael saying? Somebody is talking shit in here. 100 sit-ups. Fuck off. I don't think there were 100 sit-ups in Awana. I don't think it was 100 sit-ups in Awana. I would say it was 100 sit-ups in time. Like, you've got to do 100 sit-ups before the day is out or something. I think this girl may have had previous medical problems. Lee Robinson. Hello, Lee Robinson, with a fantastic... Lee Robinson, what a fantastic thumbnail. Russia suspected of blowing... sabotage is happening, guys. Sabotage is real. Sabotage is here. We're entering a brave new world, ladies and gentlemen. Protect yourself and your family. And Googleino is saying World War VII is here. I'm not worried about World War VII. I'm worried about World War VIII. Look, guys, I'm going to go now. I've drank my beer. My beer's got... Do you know what? I'll have a little half. I'll have a little half. I've got no CO2. I need to pump some more gas into that. A little half with you guys. Boom, you can do one, you can do two. Listen, guys, I am going to close this down now. I can't deal with any more comments. I can't deal with any more comments. I can't deal with any more comments. Look, guys. Take this up. Just accept it now. Things have been done. Things are in motion that can't be undone. That's the reality, okay? Russia, Ukraine, that's going to drag Britain in. We're going to have a civil war in country, in the United Kingdom, World War III internationally, World War IV nationally. Googleino is saying World War VII. World War X now. We're on World War X. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be back on tomorrow morning at 10. If I get up, because you guys are keeping me up so late. I'll be back on tomorrow morning at 10. Yes, I will, good sirs and ladies. And I bid everyone good night. Yes, I do. I bid everyone good night. Have a lovely sleep, nice and warm. Make sure you've got your heating up. And I will see you guys tomorrow morning at 10. Do not be late.